Hey guys, welcome to another D4H live stream. I am Marie Hunt, Implementation Project Manager here at D4H. Really excited to have you guys joining today. We have one of my other colleagues joining as well.
Hey everyone, welcome to our very first of many live interacting training sessions. I'm GP, one of the customer experience specialists at D4H, and I'm joining in from Toronto, Canada.
Hey GP. All right, so I just wanted to let everybody know who's sitting in watching live that we have Katie in the background helping us out with the slides. We also have Billy here as well. He'll be helping answer any sales related questions towards the end. So let's get started. Katie, can you change the slide for me? Oh, Katie will be back with us. I think she just sharing the slide deck. So yeah, we're real excited to have you guys here. All right. All right, Katie, can you change to the next one, please? Thanks. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Whether you're already using D4H or you're brand new to D4H for the first time, you're very welcome to this session. So today's live interactive training session is going to be all about D4H alerting and how you can use it to communicate faster and more clearly with your team.
Absolutely. So, you will see more features in D4H as we go, but just want to let everyone know that this is a product that is going to be super super easy to use. And of course, you can send messages, activations, and updates to your team across multiple channels such as SMS, push notifications, emails, phone calls, and even WhatsApp. So today we are going to walk you through getting started with D4H Alerting, show you how to customize it to fit your needs, and empower you as the ultimate D4H admin super user. We'll even highlight some of the powerful features that we have introduced recently, like the delivery sequence feature, as well as the critical alerts. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get stuck in.
Thanks, GP. All right, so today's agenda, we just ticked off the first one. So what is alerting? You saw probably the little QR code that popped up. I'm sure Katie will share it again in a little bit. So if you're interested in learning more about D4H alerting, go ahead and scan that QR code on your mobile device. So next we're going to dive into configuring general settings as well as the severities, which are your channels. So that, like GP said, SMS, voice call, WhatsApp, and then templates. So D4H allows you to pre-build those alert templates as well. We'll go through sending alerts. We're going to send a couple to each other, and then how you guys can respond, how your recipients can respond to those alerts as well. After that, it's reviewing alert responses, and there is a very intuitive audit trail within there so that you can see things like errors or when they're successfully sent. And then lastly, we'll open up a Q&A session with both GP and myself, and then we'll pull in Billy as well for any sales related questions. All right, GP, you want to share your screen? You ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
So real quick, first off, just wanted to mention that when it comes to being able to access D4H alerting, whether it's in the admin area where you're setting up these configurations or sending alerts and looking at alert responses, they are subject to what we call permission profile levels. And so the account owner permission profile that's built into D4H has access to all of alerting. However, the other four permission levels, editor, member plus, and member, you do have to go underneath the additional policy section under your user's profile and select the organization level permissions like send an alert, view an alert, or manage alert settings. So thank you so much.
All right, team.
All right.
Let's dive into some of the cool stuff we have on the
Yes.
docket for you. So, first up, whenever we create and share the account details with you, this is how the admin side of the account is gonna look like. Once we create the account, obviously we need to start looking at some of the settings, like the general settings. This is going to be our main setting area where we define some of the key identifiers in your account. At any point in time, if you don't feel comfortable filling these fields, don't worry about it. simply clicking into the little informational or the emoji icon over here, that's going to pull up our help center on the right hand side. And if the moment you click into the first help article, that's going to open up the respective help article and give you more information about that specific feature. Let's jump into the sender identifiers that is listed on the screen. Starting with the short text identifier. For example, if you get an SMS from your retailer or from your merchant to your phone, you will see a unique ID up at the top of the SMS, and you call it unique ID or send ID. And that is what you need to be defining it over here. So in my example, I have defined it as D4H-ER, and that's going to be shown for every text message that is sent through your D4H alerting account. Next up, we have the long text identifier. If you're sending an email, this is what is going to be shown on your emails as the long text identifier. This can be your team name or something that's going to resemble your alerting account. The one at the bottom that says text to voice identifier. Let's say we are sending a voice call to one of your users and we want the system to read out your team name. In my case, what I've done is I have defined it as D4H, but do take a note that I have kept a space between two characters. That is to make sure the system does not try to pronounce this as a singular word. Instead, it's going to pronounce it as D4H. Fun fact about this, if you didn't know, D4H stands for Decisions for Heroes. As to why we did that, our CEO would be very much be happy to give you more details. But if you didn't know, D4H stands for Decisions for Heroes team.
And it does definitely speak what you type in there if you don't put the space. That's for sure. Hey, GP, we got quite a few people joining. I don't know if we want to say hi to any of them. I see several that are existing customers.
Yeah, I'll let you say hi to everyone. I was not looking at the chat, but hello, everyone. Yeah, I mean, Murray, please feel free to interrupt me and let's give a shout out to everyone that we recognize on the right-hand side.
Yeah, we got Monmouth, we got Waldo County here in Maine. That's where I'm located. It's not too far away. East Central Wisconsin. We got, I'm going to totally hack this, Calam County, Washington. Halifax Search and Rescue, Snohomish County, Washington. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for joining.
The chat has blown up. Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, let's keep going. Cool. So once the send identification details have been added, click it into save. That will make sure the general settings are configured. Again, this is a one-time thing. You would not, I mean, very unlikely that you would be changing these details often, but pretty much this is something that you would set once and you forget about for the rest of your life, to be honest. Jumping into the next topic that we have, which is the alert severities. So in your case, you could be attending to multiple emergencies, different types of incidents, and based on the type of these incidents, you may want to communicate to your team different types of communication alerts. So in D4H, we call it as alert severities, and in my account, I have created 4 of them in my account. Let's take a look at how we can go about creating a brand new alert severity. The moment you're clicking into the create alert severity option, you will be given a bunch of fields to fill. So starting from the top, you'll be given an option to type the name, and then you can give an icon. So let's just pick one of the icons from here. And then you can also give this a little color as well to the alert that you are just creating. I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to add a name as well. Done. All right, so I'm going to jump into delivery sequence. Do not get alarmed if you do not see the feature in your account. That might be due to the fact that you don't have this feature enabled. Give us a shout. I've got Billy on the call as well, who's going to be helping us with any sales related questions. And if you don't see it, we most likely we will need to upgrade your plan and give you access to the delivery sequence feature we have in the system. Essentially, what this does is that the system will allow you to send multiple types of communication. These are your SMSs, the voice calls, mobile push notifications, emails, uh, based on time intervals. So we'll take a look at an example. For this specific high alert that I'm going to be using, I'm going to tell the system, look, I want to initially send an SMS, and also I want to send an email. But also, I want to make sure that you stay for a minute, and if you do not get a response from the user, I want the system to send out a voice call along with a critical app notification. What this means is that system will initially attempt to send an SMS and an email. It will wait for a response from the user, and if it does not receive any response, it's going to send a voice call as well as a critical app notification. Once you've configured these changes, go ahead and click it into save. That's going to save your changes and it's going to be shown on this screen. Maria, I'm seeing some questions coming in. Should we take one of
Some
those?
comments. I don't see any questions yet, but Chief Bucky said we used this yesterday for the first time for an active incident for largest wildfire in over 20 years here in New Jersey. It worked flawlessly for team notifications, situation updates, and briefing links. So that's awesome to hear, Bucky.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, the use cases are immense, and we will start hearing about these very soon. Super. Oh, Maria, I'm going to keep going. Please interrupt me.
No, you're doing great, GP.
All right. Thanks for that one. All right. So, team, I'm going to be jumping into templates. Again, a really powerful feature we have in the system, uh, because this is going to be your life savior when it comes to sending alerts. Because most likely, when the emergency hits, you want to be prepared and you want to be sending these alerts right away without having to, do much of changes, without having to, spend more time on the systems. This is where the templates come into the picture. So as you can see, we've already created some of the templates, but let's take a look at how we can go about creating a brand new one. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and click it into the new alert template up at the top, and I'm going to create a brand new template. So at the very first field, it's asking me to enter a name. You can give your template a name. This is the name I'm going to be using. And it's better you add a description as well to this alert template, because that way your team knows as to when we should use that specific template. So for this one, this is the description I'm going to be adding. And if I scroll down further on this page, there are two types of sending modes in D4H when it comes to our alerts. You have the option to send instantly versus you have the option to edit before sending. Most of the customers stick with the edit before send because they want to double check the information that is added here. But of course, if you are looking to have the alert sent right away, please make sure it is selected as instant send. The next option we have is that you can stop accepting replies after specific time frame, because in D4H you will see in a few seconds that you can set responses for every alert that you're sending. Again, it is optional, but you have the option to do that one, and you also have the option to stop accepting replies after 24 hours, 1 hour, 8 hours, etc. So in this case, I'm going to select this as 1 hour. Next up, we have the option to select recipients. If you have our personnel and training product, which is one of the coolest products we have out there, you have the option to select on-call members only. On-call means that you're already ready to go. You have got everything planned, and meaning that your boss or your emergency manager can call you in for an emergency. If that's the case, and if you have our personnel and training product, the moment we enable the on-call only option, the system will display all the folks who are on call. So right now I'm on call. I can select myself, or I can select one of the pre-configured groups in D4H as well as part of this template. So for this one, I'm going to select the EMT team, and I'm going to confirm that change. Under the alert severity, if you can remember, about 5-10 minutes ago, we created an alert type. So if I go to that option over here, the drop down will display all the alert types that we have created in the account. So in my case, I'm going to select the high alert that we just created, and then I'm going to jump into the alert message. Here, of course, you have the option to keep this empty, but since this is a template, we strongly recommend you to have the information ready to go. And in my case, this is the message I'm going to be adding as the alert message. But of course, before you send, you have the option to alter or edit this message. Quick note over here, this specific field is limited to 120 characters. Earlier, we did not have the feature call attachments where our users or our customers could not add additional information other than 120 characters. However, a few months ago, we released a feature where you can add additional information to your alert. So all you need to do, clicking into the add text, that's going to open up a brand new field which has rich text editor enabled. All you need to do, add all the information that you need, the additional information that you need to the second text box. And this is how I'm going to be preparing the template. Right at the bottom, there are reply options. So by default, you will be given a response option as acknowledge. As I said earlier, you have the option to delete, meaning that you will not have any reply options, or you can have multiple reply options as well. So in my case, what I'm going to do, I am going to add 2 reply options, and then I am going to save this template. And the moment I do that, system will give me a confirmation and it's going to be shown on my screen. Next one I have is the billing. Quite straightforward module over here. It's going to give you some information about your subscription as to how much of credit you have left, and also when does that expire. And there's a little option at the on the right hand side where you can request for more credit, and we'll touch base with you to discuss your new requirements and get you a top up to get you going with the alerts. With that said, I'm going to hand over to Marie, who will show how to go about sending alerts, because that's going to be the most powerful thing, which she's going to be combining everything that we just discussed in the demo.
Thanks, GP. So I think we have a couple questions from Chief Bucky. The first one, will this be linked more in line with Operations Center to notify just checked in personnel? I think you're referring to within an incident channel, if I'm not mistaken, Bucky. We may need to take that offline and check with the product team on timeline or the roadmap and get back to you, but I do believe that is something that they're looking into. As far as the second question that you had, the sending with attachments. So the most recent release that GP was talking about, where you can expand upon the 120 characters in the initial message, I do believe a second part of that is going to be the sending an actual attachment within there as well. Thanks for confirming. So let us circle back to you and after we take a look at the product roadmap, but we definitely will do that for you. All right, another question, Catherine. If you have groups set up on the team manager side, are they transferred over to the operations center side, or do you have to reset up all the groups again on the ops side? So at this current stage, the groups that are maintained on Team Manager do not have a direct sync to the incident management side or essentially alerting with your personnel. But this is something that I know that we actually just talked about earlier, having more field sync up from Team Manager into the Operations Center. So that is something that is going to be coming down the pipeline. And again, we can circle back with you guys on more of a roadmap or an estimated timeline. All right, one more question, and then we'll kind of pivot back to sharing my screen. We'll pivot over to share my screen so I can send some alerts, but we definitely will continue with questions after that. Let's see, is there an API that can be used to create and send an alert? So we did ask this question to the product team. There is an API with incident management currently that was built, I'm going to say it was a couple years ago now, GP, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right.
And so API, I do believe, is going to expand beyond that. But right now, there is no API that triggers alerts from another software at the moment. And there is a lot more details as far as how API is set up and things like that. But we're absolutely taking a look into it. GP, you want anything to add? Did I miss anything?
No, you're spot on. On the API front, yeah, Steve, we get quite a lot of requests, not just on alerting, especially on Team Manager as well as on the Operation Center. Being alerting a new product, we have not released the public, APIs to the customers, but this is one of the hot topics that we are discussing almost on a monthly basis with the product team. So keep an eye definitely this year about the alerting APIs.
Yeah. And at the end of our presentation today, we're going to be sharing with you another, I think, a QR code or how you guys can look at what's new and receive notifications to these product releases. Because it's a new product, as GP had said, we're constantly evolving it. I mean, we're doing it for all of the products as well. So there it is. So if you want to scan that QR code on your mobile device and subscribe to updates, I would definitely suggest that, because this keeps you kind of in the forefront. So thanks, Katie.
Nice one, Katie. Spot on with the
All right.
the QR code.
Here we go. All right. So GP, I think this is the one that you just created, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So back to where GP was, he was in the admin area. That's what we call like the behind the scenes, where you're making a lot of these configuration adjustments to your account. So to access it, you hit that user icon in the top right, and then you can select the admin area from there. So within this screen that I'm sharing right here, there's two menu options on the left. The top one will get you over to the incident management product, where you'll have like live interactive channels that you guys are pulling your people into, filling out status boards, shelters, ICS forms, you name it, you really can build it out there. The second icon is the alerting icon, and it navigates you over to this screen. So up at the top, here's where your alert templates live. This is where you can create a custom alert if you didn't want to choose from any of your template options, or maybe a template option doesn't exist yet. You can actually create your message here on the fly. But for this example, I am going to select from one of the GP went and removed it. I was like, wait a second, we're missing one. So this one right here, the EOC activation notice, is what I'm going to select. Now, the ones that you see at the top of the screen, this is called pinned templates. So you actually can pin several templates to the top, but depending on the actual alerting plan that you purchase, you can have up to 999 templates. You may not want to pin all of those to the top, and that's where this show more comes into play. All right, GP, you ready?
Let's keep going.
So I'm going to select the EOC activation notice here. And I have this set up as edit before sending, and that's why it comes to this screen. If it was selected as instant send, it wouldn't give me the option to make any additional edits. It already tells you who the recipients are. This is the EOC group that I created in the admin area, but you can also select other people directly from here as well. So you can select more groups. Here's down here, shows on call and who's not on call. If I wanted on call only, just like GP had shared, this is where I could tick that box off. And on call is tracked in our personnel and training product. All right, I could also change my alert severity if I wanted to, but I don't. Here's my alert message. And then down below where that additional rich text editor is, this is where you could put additional details. Let's see. And then if you had incident management, this is another cool thing that I've started sharing with customers going through implementation, is you do get a URL that you could directly put in here if you wanted to. And that way it's automatically there when you hit that message. They can click it, it would open up the browser and go from there. Down below, here's all my reply options. And then down here under advanced, if I wanted to limit the timing for my responses, I could do that as well here. You also have a feature, which I'll show you in a moment, that once you receive enough responses, you can actually stop receiving responses even after you send the alert. All right, here we go. Sending it to 2 recipients, GP and myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting a phone call. I got the notification. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see that on my screen share as well. So here, I don't know if you can hear it.
We can hear it, Marie. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear it. That's the
Yeah.
critical alert notifications. It actually, so one thing I wanted to note with that, let me make it quiet for a second. One thing I wanted to note about that is on your mobile device, you do have critical notification settings. So we do have a really robust Help Center article about troubleshooting that, because if you're not receiving the critical alert, it's likely due to some sort of setting that's not enabled. A lot of times, just like myself, I'll put work hours on my phone so it snoozes any phone calls and things like that. So if you go through your settings through your mobile device, it would help bypass any of those blocks, essentially. So if you need help doing that, you can definitely reach out to us and let us know. All right, so I got all the notifications. I got a phone call. I got a text message. I got a WhatsApp notification. All came through. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click view the full alert and select my response. Now, the cool thing that you'll see here is the responses are in real time. So there were 2 recipients, 2 replies received, and it was live. Now, if I was done accepting responses, I can hover over this open, click close. I also have the option to do it up here at the 3-dot menu, stop accepting replies, and that would essentially stop allowing people to respond. All right. I think I got everything. What did I miss? Oh, if you don't have WhatsApp within your account, it's likely due to your plan. And again, we got Billy on the call as well, so if you have any sales related questions, things like that, definitely chime in and we can get that answered for you as well. All right. I think I'm going to stop sharing now, Katie, and GP is going to take over screen share again to go over the audit trail.
Perfect. Thanks, Marie. Yeah, I was just looking at the chat whether we got some questions. I think we had a couple of questions from Vivi. Vivi, I think Billy will reach out to you privately on the question that you have asked for. Yeah, I think we've got one question. Are the groups created in the alerting module, or do you require personnel and training? So we did discuss this question at the very beginning, but at the moment we do not have this feature in the platform, meaning that you need to create the groups within the alerting product. Of course, this is a feature that's going to be coming out this year. So do keep an eye on our updates page because that's where we publish all the new feature releases for our customers.
Hey, GP, do you want me to show that really quick? I just have it pulled up in the admin area. I'm happy to. The little group section in there.
Absolutely. We are,
okay.
well in time.
Sorry, Katie. All right. So this is a profile of a specific person. Name, email address. You would put a phone contact in here. You do have a country code drop down, which makes it really, really easy to set it up. Down here below, you have groups. So once you click manage groups, this is where you could, EMS, enter. It could be anybody. It could, all these. You can have as many groups as you want in here. And then from there, underneath assign a group is where you assign groups to people, and they could be part of many different groups. So it's pretty easy to be able to add groups, and that's where you select a group within either the template or sending the alert message. That's how you do that. Okay. Sorry, GP, didn't mean to hijack that for you.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I love it. I think we are pretty much, way ahead in time, so we'll have some time to take questions as well.
Scott's on.
All right, super, cool. All right, team. So when let's just quickly go over some of the UI functionalities on our homepage. So the homepage will always display the alerts that were sent. You have the option to mark or hide some of these alerts that you have sent in the past. So for example, if I select the last communication that was sent, I can go ahead and archive that specific alert. It doesn't mean that we are deleting it. It's just going to be hidden from your main view. For the next part of the demo, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a couple of things that we have in the platform. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this sample alert that was used. In the example that Marie sent, she sent the alerts to two people, that is myself and her. And moment we did the acknowledgements, or moment we did the response to those alerts, it displayed the responses in real time. And as you can see on this specific alert that we sent, it tells me that this alert was sent at 8 o'clock and it was approved, or it was confirmed at 8 o'clock as well. However, it does have errors. So if you want to troubleshoot, or if you want to take a look at as to what went wrong, we have another feature called Audit Log. Audit Log will contain end-to-end details about this transaction or the alert that was sent. So up at the top, it tells me, GP, look, this was sent at 8 o'clock, 8:02 to be precise, as a text. The reply option was acknowledged, and it was acknowledged at 8:02 a.m. However, 8:02, the system attempted to send a mobile app notification. However, since there was no device present, it was not delivered. So similarly, if an SMS failed, if a voice call got failed due to a communication issue, that will be shown here, and it will be much easier for you to track it down. Whereas with other communication partners, you will have to reach out to third-party providers just to understand as to why it failed. Whereas D4H, we give you the end-to-end error details within the product itself without you having to go through another service provider. Another feature we have, no problem. Another feature we have is that within the audit log, because when you look at the audit log, and if the alert was sent to, let's say, 100 people, this is going to be a very lengthy audit trail. And if I want to look at, let's say, a specific personnel, I just need to click on their name. System is automatically going to filter the audit trace or audit history based on the personnel that I have selected. So in this case, I selected Marie's name, and system gives me all the information that are specific to Marie's communication. Anything that I missed on the auditing logs, Marie?
No, I don't think so. If you want, this alert's still open if you want to show them the stop accepting responses. And I don't think I showed them how to do it, but we didn't actually stop accepting the responses.
Absolutely. So if you hover over the replies option, moment you go to the little close icon, that is going to pretty much stop the poll or stop receiving or taking all the responses from the users that we have sent. As you can see, system gives you a notification up at the top, and here the big deal is that everything is real time. The responses that you're going to get, it's like a poll that you can see everything in real time, and who has accepted your alert, who has not received your alert, and what those errors are. And most importantly, do I need to sort of resend a communication to the folks who have not confirmed or who have not marked the attendance or the confirmations?
Yep.
We can take a couple of questions, Marie.
Yeah, we got a couple coming in actually. Let's see. I've noticed that you can archive past alerts, which removes them from the list as they're currently anyway. Yes. GP, I think you got screen share, so do you want to navigate back and show him how to look at those archive alerts, or do you want me to take over?
Let's give it a try.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a little cut off in this screen. Okay, so up at the top where it says recent alerts, that little drop down there, GP on the left, click that and then click archived alerts. So that's how you navigate between the current ones that are in that main view and then the archived ones. Now, if you needed to unarchive one of them, it's the same process of archiving. You select the three dots, you click unarchive, and then it brings it back to that main screen. Good question. Let's see,
Thanks,
got another
Marie.
one from Barry. We're in the UK. Can the Coast Guard initiate an alert directly or will it have to go through a D4H admin? Oh, that's a great question. So the ability, once you have a D4H account, the ability to send an alert is up, you guys have that. It's your account, you're the customer. So it's whomever has the appropriate permission to send it. So normally when a customer, after they've purchased alerting, they'll go to implementation and be implemented, or they'll go to the help desk. It just depends on the plan, but you'll set up your admins and who gets certain permissions, and then you might want to give some people permissions to do things, but maybe you want to limit certain stuff. So for example, you can say, I want you to be able to view the alerts, but I don't want you to send them. So you can get more granular with some of those permission levels. It's not us sending your alerts, I promise you that. Once we give you access to the account, we definitely walk out of your account. So we don't have access to all that stuff anymore. Is it possible to export the audit information into a report? So that is on the roadmap, isn't it, GP?
That's correct. Yeah, again, one of the most requested features we have been asked of. So it's coming.
Yes, it's coming. Let's see. Keep your questions. Oh, that's Katie. Oh, look, Robin hopped on. Yeah, that's the article that Katie just posted for permission levels. So one thing you'll notice, if you're not a D4H customer yet, but maybe you are and you already know this, or maybe you don't, we've got over 370 curated articles. One thing about D4H that I believe sets us apart from anybody is, how robust our content is and how much information we share to everybody, because, we're transparent and we want to be as uncomplicated as possible. So, all right. What else? Any future plans? Is that a Telegram? I don't even think I've ever heard of that before, Scott. Is it in New Jersey? I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So Telegram is very much like, of course, WhatsApp, but it's late to the party. We are considering all the options, but right now, since WhatsApp is the mostly used, over-the-top IoT application, that's what we went ahead with. But of course, our CTO and Robin will look at Telegram and other applications in the future for sure.
All right, so let's go ahead and navigate to the last slide and open it up for more QA. All right. Okay. So any other questions? Oh, we did have one that came in pre-submitted. So thank you to the folks that took the time to pre-submit questions. Let's see. So the question was, what does the error, Katie? I'll put it in the chat for you if you want to bring it up on the screen. So what does the alert look like from the receiving end? How does it recite the alert? How is I think that's recite of the alert done. So I can show you if the ones that came through. I don't know if you heard the notification that was coming through the mobile app. That's how it sounds. If it's a voice call, I believe it's a female, if I'm not mistaken, GP, but she's very clear. And that's one thing that I've heard in all my implementations. You can understand this voice. That's great. So here's the SMS, and I apologize if it's blurry, guys. That's the SMS. WhatsApp looks like this. And then at the bottom, if there's additional information past the additional text information, you just click the view alert hyperlink and it'll open that up into a bigger message. And then, did I miss any? Emails? Oh, emails, I can't necessarily show you. My inbox is not open, but it's the same thought process as any other notifications. Cool. I hope that answered the question. Will you increase the text character limit in SMS related to D4H? People, can't pull over each time. So I think if you clicked on the link, it would open up in the web page, if I'm not mistaken, and you could still use that text to voice from the web page to continue reading the message. I believe the 120 character limit There was a reason behind that around how much can actually fit in one notification alert SMS. But we'll definitely take that offline and discuss that with the product team to see, what their thoughts are. The additional information just doesn't have a limit, and so there's only, otherwise I think what would happen is you get SMS, 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 SMS just to be able to send that entire message. But if you click the link, again, driving and clicking link is probably not something you guys want your people to do. But once you do pull over or at your destination and want to click on the link, it would also, I think, do the text to voice while you're driving. Yep.
One thing I've seen there is that, Marie, some customers, when they create the template, they make sure it is not restricted to just an SMS. It goes as a voice call as well. So if the person is on the go, they can always connect the device to their vehicle, and obviously respond from there itself. So that's obviously an alternate option. But of course, we know that there's a technical limitation on the number of characters. But of course, and on the other thing is that if you do have more than 120 characters, that means essentially you are sending 2 SMSs and you're going to be billed twice. So you might as well, use a voice call instead, because that's going to get the job done faster and, of course, efficiently as well.
Thanks, GP. So Gordon, I know that you mentioned a question about credits and alerting. Billy has taken that down, and he's going to reach out to you as far as that, or if you want to reach out to sales directly at sales@d4h.com, you can. We don't necessarily see each SMS and how much credits it costs from our side, mostly because we want you guys to focus on just sending alerts and not worrying so much about the credits. Because at the end of the day, the last thing that we would want to do is say, hey, you have no more credits. You can't send a message in an emergency. So if you ever get close to running out of credits, you can reach out to help@d4h.com and we'll work with you guys. Yeah, Katie with the QR code.
Yeah, that's a quite a handy feature. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, GP, you got the next question.
Oh, where am I looking at?
I got so many, I can't keep up.
Oh, alert tone. Can the users choose different tones? All right. So unlike the ringtones and the other alert tones in your device, this is not configurable at the moment. But of course, this is one of the nice to have features that we are thinking to introduce in the future.
Yeah, I think it would add a lot more complexity too. I mean, the reason that we selected that critical app notification is because it gets louder and it's kind of like in your ear. If it ends up getting changed to something a little bit more quiet, somebody might not receive that alert in a timely manner like they need to. So more to come. Katie, can you pull up the what's new QR code again, so people can also register potentially to see any new features that we roll out? Because this year, it's just more features, so super exciting. All right.
I can take that one, Marie. So how can you respond to SMS or WhatsApp? So every SMS and WhatsApp will have a URL that the user will need to click into. And once they click into it, they will be seeing the options that we have created in the account. However, if the user mistakenly sends the response as an SMS or just as a WhatsApp by replying to that text or the WhatsApp, it's not going to be registered as a valid response. So always make sure your team clicks into that link shown on the WhatsApp or the SMS. Then they select the response option accordingly, which will make sure their response is obtained by the system.
Awesome, GP. We got a ton of people scanning these codes. Love it. Okay. We did have a question. What happened? Krista.
I can take that too, Marie.
Yeah, go ahead, GP.
All right. So, I mean, as you know, these are some of the features that we are already working on, just to, a wink, wink. So do keep an eye on the updates page, because this is again one of the most requested features. our objective, of course, here is to have the alerting features sitting inside the incident management application. There will not be a separate application, but the existing incident management application will have or will house the sending abilities of the alerting features, because right now you can receive alerts from your incident management application, and we are going to extend that to the sending capabilities as well.
I agree. I also, I think with the new incident management mobile app, if you did have incident management and alerting, it's really a lot easier to navigate between, filling out information on the incident and looking at your alerts. Another new feature that just came out recently for incident management was tracking live locations, which was a huge one because for as long as I could remember, that was a heavy ask. And so that's also within the incident management mobile app. So if you had that tracking your people at the same time you're sending your notifications and things like that, it's always good to kind of have that all in one go. All right. Let's
Great
see what
question.
else.
We got great questions today, Marie.
I know.
I love it. Yeah.
Great. And we got so many people joining in. Does this mean like we're famous, GP?
I think so. We are probably, we are on almost every YouTube video that we've done. But yeah, I'm really happy. And on the background, we've
This is
got
awesome.
Katie pulling all the levers. So shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to her.
And I think it's time to get
Let's
Billy
get Billy
on.
on.
Yeah,
Let's get Billy on.
we kept him in the dark. So let's bring him on. Yeah.
I was happy in the dark. You could have just kept me in there. It would have been total. Great. Hello, everyone. Great questions. Marie and GP are pros. So I didn't even have to answer any questions. It was all them the whole time.
With that said, I think we can
sales
wrap things
questions up. Let's see if anybody has any sales related questions. Are you good, Billy? Did you see any that came through?
Nope. All the ones that feel sales oriented, I'll either follow up over email, or you can email sales@d4h.com or scan the QR code. Either one, we'll get to it. I'm happy to also hop on a call to walk anyone through the product and other questions they might have.
Awesome. Did want to mention some upcoming features as well. So conference calling is coming. So that's something that's super exciting. Just wanted to mention that to you guys. And then there is the ability to send alerts through the mobile app, incident management mobile app, I think initially. So more to come on those features as they get released. But yeah, it's good stuff. We did it.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining in today. It's okay if you didn't catch this live stream, you can watch it back. And once again, thank you, Katie, Billy, GP. This has been fun.
Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you on another live stream.
Yeah. Take care.